Hello everyone, Cousin here, and in this video, I'm gonna be solving Wordle number 1223 and New York Times Hard Sudoku for October 24th, 2024. So let's get this video started with Wordle number 1223. I'm gonna start with the word study. Alright, got the S yellow and surprisingly, Y at the end. So, Y goes here, and I think... Well, I don't think S is gonna go second, so it's either gonna go third or fourth. I feel like the chances of S going before the Y is more likely, but S something Y is still possible, like SHY or another vowel. But since I can't think of exact words, and I'm not sure how many words are actually possible to fit in this pattern. So I'm gonna guess a word that involves four new letters and placing the S somewhere else. For example, crash. I feel like R is less likely, so I'm gonna go with clash instead. Yeah, let's try clash. Okay, indeed, the S does go before Y, or it could still be a double S. Did not consider about that. Well, this word has to contain a vowel, right? So it's again, it could be a double S, for example, bossy or mossy. They're definitely possible, but if I don't, um, it could also be something like messy. There are just still a lot of combinations. So I'm first gonna guess with the word mossy, because it goes in between messy and bossy. So if M and O end up being not in this word, I can also eliminate the other words. But let's just see where this brings me to. Alright, it is OSSY ending. So I just need the first letter, which I think it should be bossy, right? Because I can't think of any other words that follow this pattern. Yeah, it's bossy. Alright. So I've basically, after I eliminated mossy, bossy was literally the only word that follows this pattern. So yeah, I used the elimination method on the second try. The strategy lets you, well, firstly, try to place the S, which is a yellow from the previous clue, and also to either get or eliminate some commonly used consonants or vowels. So I think guessing clash there definitely helped a bit. And then after I guess mossy, well, it could only be bossy. So yeah, I got today's Wordle answer, bossy in 4 tries. It's an alright performance, so I'll take it. Got today's Wordle answer bossy in 4 tries. After I'm done with Wordle number 1223, let me move on to New York Times Sudoku. Again, today is October 24th, 2024. I'm gonna start the hard difficulty Sudoku now. What have we got? I see that this 5 points right. So in block 2, the digit 5 is forced into row 1. These 5s force the digit 5 into this cell in block 4. The missing digits of block 2 are 2, 6, and 9. This cell sees 2 and 9. This cell sees 2 and 9, so it can only be 6. Now, 2 and 9 are down to the other 2 cells, but this cell also sees 2. So I can place the 9 and 2 like this, so immediately, because of these 2s and 9s, I can place the 2, 6 and 9 like this to complete block 4. Alright, these 2's points down and this cell sees another 2. So in block 8, the digit 2 is forced into this cell, and then these 2's points right, this cell sees another 2. These 2's points up and this cell sees another 2. These 9's points up and this cell sees another 9. So in block 3, the digit 9 is forced into this cell, and then these 9's points left. These 9's force the digit 9 into one of these 2 cells in block 5. These 6's points left, and this cell sees another 6. Okay, these 4's points right to force the digit 4 into this cell in block 6. And then these 4's points down, this cell sees another 4. Alright, something that I see. Oh, well, I'll just put it this way. These 4's force the digit 4 into row 2 in block 2. Right? Because of these 4's, the digit 4 in block 2 is forced into row 2 because it still has to go somewhere in block 2. So 4 is guaranteed into row 2 in this block. So 4, this 4 with the 4's here, points left, with these 4's pointing up, the digit 4 in block 1 is forced into this cell. Because this cell, I can eliminate 4 from this cell because it sees the 4 from block 2. So 4 can't go into this cell. It can only go into this cell. Okay. Alright, in row 6. In row 6, the missing digits are 1, 3, and 7. This cell sees 1, so it's 3, 7. This cell sees 7, so it's 1, 3, 1, 3, 7. Okay, so this 1, 3, 7 triple means that the other 4 open cells contain the other missing digits of block 5, which are 5, 6, 8, and 9. So these 4 open cells contain 5, 6, 8, and 9, where these 2 cells see 6 and 8. So in order to fit both 6 and 8 into block 5, these 2 digits can only go into these 2 cells. And because of that, I have to make these 2 cells reserved for 5 and reserved for 6 and 8. Alright? In order to fit both 6 and 8 into block 5, the only combinations are 6, 8 or 8, 6. This 6, 8 pair eliminates all other digits from these 2 cells because both 6 and 8 can only go into these 2 cells, so I have to make them reserved for 6 and 8. Therefore, I can eliminate 9 from the 6, 8 pair. Then, I can force the 9 into the cell in block 5, which also makes this a 5. Okay, the 5 in this cell is now eliminated. I can force the digit 5 into this cell in block 2, and then these 5's point down. The missing digits of row 4 are 5, 6, and 8. This cell C6, so it's 5, 8, 5, 6, 8. And in row 5, the missing digits are 6, 7, and 8. These 9's point down, and this cell sees another 9. These 7's points up. Okay, I was just looking at the missing digits of row 3, and I just found a single, so you can, well, okay, maybe I'll explain it this way. Just look at column 1 and think about the missing digits. That way it's way easier, alright. The missing digits of column 1 are 1, 3, and 6. This cell sees 1 and 6. This cell sees 1 and 6, so 1 and 6 can only go into the other 2 open cells in this column, making the cell a 3. Alright. This 8 points up to force the digit 8 into row 2 in block 2. The missing digits of row 3 are 5, 7, and 8. Where this cell sees 5 and 7. This cell sees 5 and 7, so 5 and 7 can only go into the other two open cells in this row, making this cell an 8. And then these 8s point down, and this cell sees another 8. So in block 7, the digit 8 is forced into this cell, and then these 8s point right. Okay, earlier I found out that in block 2, the digit 8 is forced into row 2. This 8, with 8s here, points right. Okay, the missing digits of column 3 are 1, 7, and 9. So this cell sees 9, it's 1, 7, 1, 7, 9, and this cell sees 7, so it's 1 or 9 only. Alright, I'll just continue to mark down the missing digits of block 7. They are 1, 3, 6, and 9. These two cells see 1, and this cell sees 9. So this cell is 3 or 6, and down here, 3, 6, 9. Let's think about the missing digits that go into these 4 cells. We know that there is a 5-7 pair in block 3, meaning that the other 4 open cells in this block contain the other missing digits, 1, 2, 3, and 8. This cell sees 1 and 2, so 1 and 2 go into the other 3 cells, and 3 is forced into one of these 2 cells. Not sure how that helps, honestly. Um, Alright, well, I'm gonna have to keep marking down, some more restricted digits. Yeah. In block 2, the missing digits are 3, 4, 7, and 8. So 37373737. This cell C7, so it's 308. I'm wondering if this chain does anything. Hmm. Oh, okay, I finally see it. It is in column 7. Wow, I don't know why it took this long to see. Alright, in column 7, 7 is a missing digit. This cell sees 7 from the 5-7 pair. This cell sees 7, and these two cells also see another 7. But 7 still has to go somewhere in this column. So I have to put 7 in one of the open cells, but can't go into the other 4 open cells. So this is the only open cell available for 7 in this column. So 7 is forced into this cell because it can only go here in this column. It still has to go somewhere in this column, and it can only go here. So I can make this a 7 for this column. Um, and then after I place the 7, I can then place the 4 in this cell by using the same concept. In this column, 4 is a missing digit. The other open cells see another 4, and 7 just occupy this cell. So 4 still has to go somewhere in this column, and this is the only cell available for 4. So I can force the digit 4 into this cell for this column. Alright, which makes this cell 3, 5, or 8 for this column, but C is 8, so it's 3 or 5. Now that 4 occupied the cell, I can force the digit 8 into this cell in block 9, which eliminates 8 from these two cells. Alright, row 7. Row 7 is missing 1, 3, and 6. Okay, so these two cells see another 1. So in row 7, the digit 1 is forced into this cell, which makes this cell up here a6, this a2, this a9, left with a 1-7 pair, which makes this cell a9, and down here a 3-6 pair. Alright, 2 in this cell is eliminated. Okay, the problem is what now? Give me some time, sorry. Oh, it's this 9. Okay, I follow. I mean, I forgot. I forgot to follow up on digits that I recently placed. So, right. I mean, immediately after I placed this 9, I should have eliminated 9 from this cell. So all of these 9s force the digit 9 into this cell in a block 8. Um, hmm. Now in column 4, the missing digits are 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. But this cell sees 4, 7, and 8. So this cell is down to 3 or 6 only. And there we go, we have a 3-6 pair in these two cells. In column 4, these two cells only contain 3 and 6. So in order to avoid empty cells, I must keep both 3 and 6 into these two cells, because these two cells can only contain 3 and 6 and cannot contain any other digits. It sees every other digit apart from 3 and 6, so in order to avoid empty cells, I must keep 3 and 6 into these two cells, because the only combinations are 3, 6, or 6, 3 without empty cells. So this 3-6 pair eliminates 3s and 6s from all other open cells in this column, which means that this cell cannot be 3, this cell cannot be 6, this cell cannot be 3, so I can make this 7, 8, and 4. Okay, and then basically it's just progress now, so after I place this 8, it's a 6, and after 4 occupy this cell, I can force the digit 8 into this cell in block 2. These 3 cells are for 1, 4, and 5. This 4 points down to force the digit 4 into this cell, leaving behind a 1-5 pair, which makes this cell a 3, this a 1. Um, okay, this cell now sees 8. Alright. So this must be a 5, making this cell a 6 to complete this row. This 6 makes this 7 and 8 to complete row 5. This 7 points up, eliminating 7 from this cell and making it 5, and the other one a 7 to complete row 3. This cell now sees a 5, so I can make this a 3 and up here, and 8 to complete this column, which makes this 1, 7, 1, 7, 3. And here we have 2 and 3 as the missing digits of block 3, but this cell sees 3. So I can place 2 and 3 like so. And then the digit 2 in block 9 is forced into this cell, which makes this cell a 1 to complete this column, and 5 and 6 are left in these two cells. Alright. Now, this cell sees a 3, so I can make this cell a 6, making this a 3, 6, 3. The 6 points to the right, making this cell 5, 6, and the Sudoku puzzle is complete. I finished today's New York Times Hot Sudoku in a bit less than 27 minutes. So, actually, although I took quite a long time trying to solve the puzzle, it's actually mostly straightforward. It's not that tricky. It's really not that tricky. It's just, well, in terms of hard Sudoku, in terms of hard difficulty, this is, I would say, around the right difficulty and mostly straightforward. But the reason why I took this long is because I couldn't spot the placement of 7 in column 7. Towards the end, um, the breakthrough was the placement of 7 in this column, which also allowed me to immediately place the 4 in the same column. So yeah, in column 7, the placement of 7 and 4. And then later on, I mean, after I spotted this, um, it was just the 3-6 pair in column 4, which was important after that. Yeah, the 3-6 pair in column 4, block 8, which made which allowed me to place the 7, 8, and 4. So yeah, the 3-6 pair down here in block 8, column 4. So yeah, after this was the key spot after the placement of 7 and 4 in column 7. For other pairs and triples, like, well, I don't really recall any key pairs of triples. I would say, just mainly getting information from the leftmost 3 columns and upper 3 rows were quite decent. So, and of course, you could complete block 4, quite early on. So, yeah, this puzzle is not too tricky. It was just those things that I missed for quite a long time. So hopefully this video helped. If you have any other questions or difficulties, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll be glad to reply you. Today is October 24th, 2024. In this video, I've solved Wordle number 1223 and New York Times hard Sudoku for today. See you all in tomorrow's video. Bye!